3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting film journey here as we bring in the new year with a classic film that Boris has brought to us. Boris, which film did you bring for us to watch this week?
Miracle on 34th Street, the original version from 1947.
And had you ever seen it before today?
No, I haven't seen it before. I have heard of it, and actually, a while ago, I heard of a newer version of it, which I think is a 1994 remake.
I
And
saw, not to interrupt you, but I saw on the stuff that it's 1955.
Yes,
uh, I think there are multiple versions of this movie.
there's three.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just a little
So
confused because you said 1947. And I know.
47 is the original. 55 is the first remake.
Yep.
Okay, well, the two that you were looking at, what we were looking at were the 1955, I thought, David.
Nope. We watched the 1947.
Okay, what were the ones you were looking at this morning then?
I
They
believe
said 1955.
no, they did not. They
Yes, they
said
did too.
1947.
No,
They did
said
not. They said 1947.
Okay, I guess I'm fucking blind.
Yes, you are. But anyway, I know what I'm talking about.
I do too. You put them both on.
Yeah, I know,
It
and they
said
were both the same
1955.
fucking thing. They were both the same fucking thing, and they were the same film.
Were they black and white, Tammy?
They were black
Yes.
and white.
And it said 1955.
Yeah,
It did
47. 55 is color.
We were on Tubi, and there are no 1955 Miracle on 34th Street.
It's on Tubi. It's possible they said 55. I've noticed they get the wrong years on some of these streaming sites, so that is very possible that it said 55, but it was the 47 version. It was black and white.
When we get done, David, I will show you. On
And
Tubi, it says
you
1955.
will not be able to prove it. But anyways, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We'll start the year with
Today we're
not
all
me
the
and Dave
bullshit
arguing,
begins again.
but Tammy and Dave. Just to mix things up a little
No.
for you.
I don't mix anything up. She just gets things screwy. But anyways.
I will show you when we get done, David.
You can be so strongly eminent, but you will not be able to show me. Anyways.
She probably
moving
can
on.
show you because it's probably Tubi, dude.
I am definitely sure she will not be able to show me, but moving on. So this was a first time watch for you.
Yes, it was the first time. I did hear of the movie before, and the idea sounded interesting, but I never actually watched it until today. And when I found out the movie I originally heard of was actually a remake, I figured out we could go with the original.
Yes, sir. So what did you think about it?
I thought it was very good, actually, since it's an older movie. I actually thought maybe it wouldn't be as funny as some newer Christmas comedies, but it was really good, actually.
And it was short.
Pretty much, yeah, an hour and 36 minutes, if I remember correctly.
Well, the one that we actually watched, I thought it was like, yeah,
Hour and
45
36 minutes.
Huh?
Hour and 36 minutes.
Okay.
Are you sure it was on Tubi?
Yeah, It was on
Not
Tubi.
the one we watched. The one we watched.
The
was
one
on
we watched was on that Shirley Temple collection.
And that one wasn't even an hour.
Correct.
Oh, which one is that?
That was the 1947 version.
Well, that's weird. They cut out 36 minutes of the movie.
Evidently.
Yes, that is weird.
So, but yeah, the film is directed by George Seaton. And originally in the UK, this was also called something else, if I remember correctly.
Oh, what was it?
I believe it was called The Big Gift.
Huh.
Think you're right.
In the UK. But yeah. Did you want to host the rest of this for us, or did you know enough information?
Actually, I didn't know all this information, and I don't know. Maybe I could try to host, but honestly, I'm a little bit tired because last night I had a New Year party and I was awake until 7 a.m. or so, and I didn't really have enough sleep. So
Okay, well,
I'm a bit unfocused today. I'm sorry.
that's okay. We have Edmund Gwen, who played Chris Kringle, Maureen O'Hara, who played the mother, Doris Walker. We had John Payne, who played Fred Gailey, who is a lawyer in the story. Also, we had Gene Lockhart
And actually, a good lawyer for once.
as Judge Henry X. Harper, and young Natalie Wood, who plays Susan Walker, which I do want to say that I watched the copy of Miracle on 34th Street on a Shirley Temple collection, which apparently for quite some years, some people thought that Shirley Temple was in fact the young Susan Walker. But
Just to show you how stupid people are. Because I don't think Natalie Wood looks anything like Shirley Temple.
and that was on a Mill Creek Entertainment set, which, that to me was a mistake on their part, and I think that since you guys watched an hour and 36,
Yeah, you're gonna have to get another copy of the movie. 'cause
Yeah.
you don't even have the whole
I'm gonna
movie.
definitely have to get another copy of the film. I'll probably get it on like Blu-ray or something like that coming up here.
Blu-ray
So,
for black and white. Isn't that kind of redundant?
I just looked at the screen. What does that say?
that says 1955 for 45 minutes, but it's 1947.
But now you admit it does say that. I wasn't fucking blind.
Okay, but I'm not fucking blind about IMDb 1947.
This is off of Tubi.
Okay, fine. Tubi got it wrong. I wasn't paying attention. But anyways.
Well, it wasn't Tubi. It was your
Starting the New Year's, this is
DVD.
this is fucking great. But anyways.
Don't contradict me.
Hey Tammy,
Oh.
good job.
If I could have figured out how to put it on the thing for everybody to see right now, I would have. But
Fine, Tubi says 1955, and they got it totally wrong.
It's not
My
on
mistake,
Tubi.
folks.
which means you were wrong.
It's not on Tubi.
It is wrong about the year for that particular one.
And it's also not on Tubi.
Miracles on 34th Street?
Yes.
It is on Tubi.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
No,
it
it's
is. I
not.
got Tubi up right now.
My TV doesn't show Tubi. It shows like 10 different streaming sites.
Well, I have it up on Tubi right now, so
Huh, maybe it's regional.
but anyways, I proved my point.
Yeah, she just showed me that it was up on there, and plus they had two different copies of Miracles on 34th there. But anyways, moving on. We know that the year is 1947 for this particular film. Let's see what IMDb says about the film. After a divorced New York mother hires a nice old man to play Santa Claus at Macy's, she is startled by this claim to be the genuine article. When his sanity is questioned, a lawyer defends him in court by arguing that he's not mistaken.
Listen, I just found America on 34th Street. Says 1955. It shows black and white, and it's only an hour long.
Yep.
Yep, and that's
This version does not show the drunken. It doesn't say what else it doesn't show, but I'm guessing the drunken Santa Claus is what it's saying. Well, should not show a lot more than that, though, if it's fucking only an hour.
well, yeah, it must have shortened it for.
It came out in 2017, this version of the 1955. The shortened version.
Okay, maybe that's what came out is the shortened version of the 1947 movie.
Yeah.
Just so that they could cancel a part of the film. That
Yeah,
they
it says
like.
the 1955, but it's clearly black and white, so obviously they got the year wrong as well as shortening the movie. So, yeah.
Does anyone have any idea why they shortened it? What did they
Stupidity?
Make it more family friendly.
Well, they also shortened it and put it on a Shirley Temple thing, so that tells you how intelligent they are.
On the Shirley Temple thing, it says 1947 for the year.
But
Well, either way,
what even was
they put
in
it on
that
Shirley
movie?
Temple.
Yeah.
What even was in that movie that they thought was not child friendly enough?
The drunken Santa.
Big deal.
But that was the whole point of why Santa Claus took over.
Yeah, and it's not like that drunk Santa was even violent or anything. He was just lying there and I don't know, singing a song the wrong way or something like that, if I remember correctly.
He was worse than the 94 version, but
Yep. But in any case, so why don't we go with Kroll? Was this a first time watch for you, at least on Miracle of 34th Street?
no, none of the versions. I've seen all of them. The original I've seen a ton. I've seen the colorized 1955 version a ton. I've never seen the hour-long version you guys saw. Didn't know that existed. Don't think I will watch it because I don't like my movies cut. And I saw the 94 for the first time this year, but no. Miracle on 34th Street I've seen. I love it. It's my favorite Christmas movie. I've always loved the idea of Santa Claus, and I love how this movie proves to everybody that there is a Santa Claus, and this guy Kris Kringle is Santa Claus. I do say one thing in common with all three movies: the Santa Claus was perfect. The guy who played him in all three versions was spot on. In my opinion, That's the one thing all three have in common. But yeah, love Natalie Wood's portrayal of Susan. I don't know. This might have been her first film. Not sure. I didn't look it up or anything, but she's definitely really young. So it could have been one of her first films. Definitely one of her first films. If not, it's her first. And yeah, it's a great family Christmas movie you can watch every year. How
Okay.
about you, Tammy?
No, it's not my first time. I've seen it on and off over the years, and I've seen the different versions. Um, I do like it. I think it's definitely a great movie for kids. Because to get them to believe in Santa Claus, that their imagination is there, and they have something to look forward to, and something to believe in that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It's something to believe in and dream about that's nice, which isn't like a total fantasy. It's not like, oh, I believe in unicorns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something. It's a nice dream and a nice thing to believe in. So I think that it's great that way. I think it's um I think it brings the holidays more true, because it's showing about people doing for each other in it too, and showing about believing in each other, not just believing in Santa. So I think it's got a lot of great messages in it, not only for kids but for adults.
Good point. Yeah.
Okay. Is that pretty much your first impressions then?
Yep.
Okay. I not sure when I first saw this film, but I know that it was part of my family's watch. I haven't watched it all that much. I know that I know the story, and um, I liked being able to watch it again, and it's interesting to recognize certain characters as an adult, because you've got you've got the store manager who is the voice of Captain Hook from Peter Pan.
Cool.
Uh,
Cool.
that one that's at first like he because he tells um he tells the Chris Kringle, the guy, to um tell them to shop there at Macy's. Well, he does exactly the opposite. Um, so yeah, and also I remember him playing in Dr. Seuss's The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, as Dr. T in that movie. So I remember him, um, and his voice is very familiar to me as Captain Hook. The animated feature from Disney. So, um, other than that, I mean, I I thought that the Santa Claus here was a little bit more. Um, I thought I remembered him being a bit less sprightly. I thought he was definitely an energetic man. But for some reason I thought that in my mind maybe he was a little bit more old manish
Mm.
than him. He
No.
reminds me of Uncle Billy from It's a Wonderful Life, but I know it's him. But I do enjoy the character. I do enjoy the story. I do like the The only thing I don't like about the film is that it makes it a little bit political when it comes to the court scene. Because before he enters the room, he's like the lawyer is a Republican. You know.
Hmm. Well, I don't like politics generally, as you probably know, but I didn't think it was that much of that here.
Well, that's later on in the movie that comment is made, and I remember hearing that comment too. And I looked at David and said, "Wow, they had politics back then in the movies." But
Yep.
it is later, a lot later in the movie.
But
Looney Tunes was a political statement.
other than that, let's get into the storyline here. So, as we know it, the main centerpiece of this film is Macy's. Macy's is and was a huge department store chain, even here, and they would often have a department store Santa that would be like someone to bring people to the shopping center, and they wanted to make more money by bringing in more customers. And their marketing campaign at the time was to have the department store Santas uh, make sure that they shopped at Macy's. Well, it turns out that there is a department store Santa that got really drunk and disorderly, and so they were looking for a new Santa. So this particular person named Chris Kringle got hired for the job, and he started making, customers suggesting for other customers to go elsewhere, where they could find things cheaper. And he's got an interesting way about him. What did you think about Chris Kringle as a character?
It was great.
Uh,
Definitely really felt like he was Santa Claus from the North Pole. He just everything about him, mannerisms, the look. Yeah, he's everything you would think Santa Claus would look like when in or out of the suit.
Most definitely, and I especially liked how I liked his ways to put assholes down without saying anything aggressive or anything like that.
Yep, just how you would expect Santa Claus would do. He's got his naughty list, and he knows how to deal with naughty people.
uh,
What did you say, Tammy? You're muted.
I thought the Santa Claus was great too. He just was so genuine, and whatever he said and how he acted. It wasn't like he was acting to be Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Like you're like
good word, genuine. Yeah,
right, not like your normal like store Santa Clauses. He just seemed very real, and he had, all the kids were at ease with him. It seemed like everybody around him was, because he was for real.
yeah. He just he exuberated happiness and blissfulness around him.
Oh yeah, I I enjoy the role of Santa Claus here. I mean, he seems to exude a happiness for the spirit of Christmas, and I think that's what was needed to be portrayed. And I also think that the cynicalism of the time, uh, uh, divorce a mother who doesn't believe in fairy tales and whatnot. Is in fact she even goes even
And
further
teaches their daughter.
even further teaches her daughter, you know.
Yeah, I must say I didn't really like her character much until near the end, maybe.
I mean, she was just telling her child the truth, which
Uh,
you can't fault her for that. I
yeah,
mean,
uh,
I
uh,
mean, I
The
think
truth
you
as
should.
she
I personally
experienced it.
think you should build imagination, and I personally think that her style is wrong. But I would never fault anyone for telling their children the truth. So, um,
okay, that much does make sense, but she was doing more than just telling the child the truth. She was teaching her to think about money and crap from such a young age. Uh,
well, again, that's more truth. So, truth is money. You need to know about money and stuff, and so I'm just saying. I mean, you can have your opinion. I'm just saying. I always liked the mother. I just didn't really care for her style of parenting, but I still liked her as a person.
I was unsure because I don't think you should for a child that young. I don't feel, and I don't have a child myself, but I feel like if I had a child, I would still let them believe whatever they wanted to believe. I wouldn't try to like disillusion them in any way, shape, or
Right.
form. And
Yeah,
that
I
may be my
agree with that.
opinion, but
and she was just uh, projecting her own frustrations onto the child.
she was projecting her own disillusionments into her child, and she didn't want her to uh, have the same disillusionment that Prince Charming will like, sweep her up off her feet and all that jazz. And she didn't want her child to have. She wanted her child to be in reality, as we all seem to
I think
think.
though in what she was doing though, in a way she was kind of like making the child grow up too fast.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
you definitely see that. Um,
Children should have dreams, should have
yeah,
should
it's not
have
until you
somewhat
become an adult that you get your dreams squashed and crushed and ruined.
they should have an imagination. So I think the way she was doing things, she was taking that away from the child, because the child said something about wanting that the other children wanted her to play zoo, and she couldn't pretend to be an animal because she's a girl. Well, she couldn't pretend to be this animal because her mother wasn't, was filling her head that you can't pretend, you can't imagine, you can't fantasize,
Well, these same beliefs, these same feelings, of dreams crushed that have happened in her life, is what leads her to uh, take Kris Kringle and fire him too. You know, because she does in fact, you know, fire him for an instant. But then she's called to the head executives, and they're like, you should have come to us first, but this a new marketing campaign is a success. So congratulations, and tell your Santa Claus that I'll be seeing him on Monday. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, they really love the idea. That was another thing they changed in the '94 version. You know, they in that '94 version, it was her partner that said this is a great idea, and then talked her into it, and then they talked to the owner. They also wasn't Macy's either. It was some made up name. So yeah.
but yeah. So she had to go back and like rehire him. And at first he's like, nah, and then he turns around. Well, maybe you'll come around. Maybe I'll make you my pet project or some shit like that, you know. So I
Yeah.
guess he continues
Yeah,
to
he
be
wants to make a believer out of her.
but she makes him go see a psychiatrist that evidently is part of the store or someone who works for the store, and he is an ass.
Yeah, he is.
But it's funny
Uh,
how Santa just keeps trying to turn the stuff back on him, and it just gets
Are
him
you
all
happy at home?
it
And
just gets him all kinds of annoyed.
Yeah, he did.
yes, I am
yeah,
a happily married
definitely.
man, by the way. And then he picks up the phone after he leaves. Leaves, and he's like, "How many times have I told you not to call me at work?"
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a happy marriage.
He happily married for 26 years.
He lied to Santa Claus.
Well, he doesn't believe in Santa Claus. He believes that in that however Santa, even though he answered all the questions and whatnot, there's just something that just doesn't sit right with him.
He thinks he's nuttier than a fruitcake.
Yeah, he thinks he's nuttier than the fruitcake, and it is his high opinion that she should get rid of him. And she doesn't. But there is something that happens where the doctor and her and I guess they all take him on a ride to Bellevue, which evidently at that time Bellevue was like the insane place to take people. I've heard of Bellevue before, even before Miracle on 34th Street. I think it's been mentioned in other movies too. You know, this insane asylum that they take him to, and
But
I
she
guess,
didn't have anything to do with that. That was behind her back and everybody else's. It was the doctor that got, you know, they got Macy's attorney, and there was a doctor and Macy's attorney that went and took him.
Yeah.
They tricked him and took him there.
well, and and I guess Chris Kringle purposely failed the tests to actually have them make him stay there because
Yes.
Yeah, because he was upset that they went through that much. You know.
Yeah, and he did
something
not
to be
realize
crazy.
at the time that the mother was not involved in it. And because she wasn't, he thought she was.
Yeah, so
So he
he
thought,
was upset.
yeah, he thought he failed in what he was trying to accomplish.
and before this all happened, I guess the little girl, little Susie Walker, um, had asked him for the one Christmas present that she wanted, which was this little painting of this house that she
Well, she
really,
actually wanted the house,
yeah, she is.
Yes.
just to be
But
clear.
it was based on the painting or drawing that she drew.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this little house in the countryside that she wanted him to get for her, and he told her, I can't promise anything, but I will do my best. You know.
Yeah, because she was like, if you're the real Santa Claus, then you'll be able to get me this house. And he basically said, just because I'm the real Santa doesn't mean I can definitely get you the house. It's an awfully big gift. But, so, because it's a house.
Well,
And, you'd have to actually find a house that actually exists that looks just like it and everything that's just like it, and that's another thing that they changed in the remake, in the 94 remake, is that it was a house that existed in a magazine. So it was less less imagination, because even though her mother encouraged her not to have an imagination, she still did. She drew a house, and even if it was a perfect looking house, it was still using her imagination to draw it. Obviously, because she wasn't copying it from anywhere.
Well, and there is a romantic interest in the story, in the character of Fred, who evidently seems to like her mother.
Yeah, and adores Susan.
And he adores Susan, and Susan is actually the one who invites him over for dinner.
He actually thinks that she should be a kid.
And I guess
not quite grown up.
Kris Kringle ends up rooming with him.
Yeah.
Because evidently he had offered, and Fred actually believes in Kris Kringle and his story, so he actually goes to bat for him, and because he believes in him is why there is kind of a rift between Susan's mother and himself, because she's so entirely is against this idea that that he is in fact Santa Claus, and she doesn't believe,
she does like him. She does like him. Just to point out,
she cannot continue a romance with him if he is going to believe these things. She cannot stand behind him at this moment.
But Kris Kringle and Fred make a deal that that Fred works on the mom and he works on the little girl to get them to believe.
Yep.
Yep. But also he ends up on a hearing. What was the hearing for? To be exact.
To prove that he was Kris Kringle.
Yeah, to prove he wasn't insane. That he was actually Santa Claus.
Okay, so at first I thought that judge was actually the cop who played on Perry Mason. Because he somewhat looked like him at first, and I wonder if he was.
No idea.
I don't think so.
My mother watched it, but I did not.
Well, I really got into that. But any case, yeah, he has the hard job, the judge, because he's on the one hand being told that if he actually rules that he is in fact not Santa Claus, it would not do very well for him at the polls, because evidently this judge is trying to run for something greater.
And not just that, his grandchildren are ignoring him, won't mad at him, won't talk to him because he's trying Santa Claus because in their mind that's Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's
So,
something that was in that version. I believe you
yeah,
don't get that.
it was cut. No, dude, that's one of the greatest parts of the movie.
I thought one of the
Uh,
best parts though is when they bring the kid up and
Yeah,
the opposing attorney there. He's like, "Hi, Dad," and he goes up with his dad and they ask him, and he's like, "Did your dad always tell you to tell the truth?" Yes. Do you believe what your daddy says? Yes.
Yes.
Did your daddy say Santa Claus exists? Yes. And then when he leaves his dad, he goes by his daddy. He goes, "Hi, Daddy."
Yeah, they did keep that in the 94 version, which is good. They did keep something.
yeah, like the kid is completely unaware that he has just ruined his father's case.
Well, hey, the kid just told the truth, so
Yeah.
but yeah. So the whole reason why they're there is to prove that Kris Kringle is in fact Santa Claus, and at first it looks like there isn't a hope in the world because basically the attorney is trying to make it look like there is no Santa Claus whatsoever, and have the court say
well
state.
after that he decided to switch tactics and saying, okay, maybe there's a Santa, but he's not Santa Claus.
So
Like,
he
this
has
is
to
not,
prove then that he actually is,
yeah,
and
not just
that's
that
when
there is a Santa Claus, but this guy is Santa Claus.
and
So
that's when the mother.
And it's interesting that the United States Postal Service plays a equivocal part in this story, because if not for the United States Postal Service, we wouldn't have a Santa Claus in this movie, would we?
nope, nope. I love that scene. They're like, hey, did you hear they're trying Santa Claus over at the county courthouse? And like, yeah, like, weren't we ship all this mail to him?
Yeah, that was good.
Then we get the best scene with
Well, yeah,
all
because
the trucks and all the men just carrying
Well,
loads,
yeah.
bags and bags full
well,
of.
that's because the mail is a federal entity, and
Yep.
that's why the judge was like, if the federal government believes that this man is Santa Claus, who am I to go
Yep.
against it?
They saved his ass too, because like you said, he's trying to run, but he doesn't in good conscience want to say, yeah, there is a Santa Claus, and yeah, this guy is Santa Claus, but he also doesn't want to not say it because of polls and his own grandchildren and any other children, so he doesn't want to look like an asshole. So he's like caught between a rock and a hard place, and the post office saved his ass as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like this judge way better. You felt way more sorry for him than the other judge in the newer one. Especially with his own grandchildren and everything. You really felt bad for him that it's like he wasn't. He just kind of got stuck with the horrible case.
Yeah. And ultimately, I guess because of all that mail, which I do like how that all plays out, because at first he brings out 3 letters, and the other guy's like, "Oh, you only have 3? Well, I do have like more evidence here. If you really want me to bring it out, we
Yeah,
can."
bring it on. Put it right on. Put it right here. They just like put it right here on my.
Are you sure?
On my.
Okay.
Like, all right. No, all of a sudden you start seeing postal workers coming in with huge bagfuls of mail.
Buries the
And
judge
That
in the fucking letters.
Yeah, you can't see the judge at all. He's just completely buried.
And the whole time, our
That
jolly Saint Nick is just laughing away.
He is.
Yep.
yeah, all that mail should have been brought in by owls, like in the first Harry Potter movie.
Well, that would have been a little bit hard to pull off in 1947. So,
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
So afterwards, I guess he is let go. But I guess he is all around busy at like the old folks' home, giving out gifts. And he at the Walker home, we've got a disappointed Susan because she thinks that you know she thinks that Santa Claus has not come through on her Christmas wish, you know, or at least the gift that she asked for. So he, I guess, Chris Kringle calls the Walker home, and he kind of misleads the child a little bit, and the phone is handed off to Mrs. Walker, and then it's handed off to the lawyer.
yeah,
He-
gives them directions to drive by this area on the way to where they were going. And he wanted them to drive a specific way.
Yep. So in the back seat, we got little Susie Walker, and they're driving down, and they're talking, and all of a sudden she says, "Stop the car!" And she's like, "It's my house. It's
And
my
she
house. I know
gets
it
out
is."
of the car and she runs into the house, and they're all like, "Susie, Susie!" Like, you can't run into someone's house. And
And Fred, he is like, "Well, this house is for sale. We can't disappoint her." And that's when he turns to Miss Walker, and she's like, "Well, what do you think? Shall we buy the house? Shall we make sure that she has a family?" Because he doesn't exactly like spell it out for her, but it is pretty much a marriage proposal right there.
Yep.
So, but then he notices that there is a cane sitting by the fireplace, and
Yep.
it's the same cane
It's
that
Chris Kringle's cane.
always carried, and that makes him think, "Well, no, wait a minute. How could he have been here?"
Yeah. Because even
I
though he believes in Chris, he didn't believe Chris was really Santa Claus.
Oh, you have got to be kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
He
was
just believed
good.
that Chris was a really nice old man, and he had basically just believed in him, but not that he was really Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So I love that. That's when he pretty much proved to everybody that he is really Santa Claus.
So at the end of everything here, it's a pretty straightforward story. In fact, I mean, it does touch on the Macy's Day Parade, which this film does take place like during Thanksgiving and on its way to Christmas. So what do y'all think about the production of this film?
I would say it was good. I mean, not just as I would usually say for the time when it was made, because technically this story didn't really require many special effects or anything that you would need something like CGI for or whatever they were using instead back then. But yeah, everything that needed to be done in this movie, I think it was done pretty well.
Okay. What about you, Tammy? What did you think about the production overall?
I thought it was good. Just like Boris said, they didn't need um they didn't have a lot of technology back then, but they didn't need it. Everything was done basically for real, and there wasn't really a need for anything extraordinary. It's not like he made a reindeer fly in front of him or something like that. It's just it was
I
everything was
Oh,
I
more
did want to
real.
mention, like, on his application, he put as relatives or whatnot, Donner Blitzen,
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen,
Gaster
Comet,
Dance.
Cupid, Donner, Blitzen.
Yeah, he put the reindeer as his like.
And at the dinner, he refused to eat the venison.
That's right. Could I have some eggs too?
Yes.
I would feel kind of funny eating my friends.
But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought the scenery and the backgrounds and everything went good with what we were showing. So, and most of all, I think that you could not have made Santa, Chris Kringle, whichever way you want to call him, look any more authentic, real, or whatever than he did.
That is true.
Yeah.
I agree. The production overall, I mean, you had the look of what the mall was like. You had a couple of customers that made you feel like this was in fact a mall. I mean, you had a few of the children come up and sit on his lap and tell him what they wanted.
Yeah.
Uh, it was an interesting atmosphere.
It was great.
s- uh,
Also, he'd have some kids speaking a different language, and he'd speak to them in their language as well.
Oh
So
yeah.
how that he was versed
I
in
think that was cut
different
from this
languages.
one too.
Oh fuck.
Um, did you see him speaking in any other language in this particular copy, Tammy?
No, but I think I did in the other version.
Yeah, he definitely did in the other versions.
Uh, yeah, he did in this version too. Was it Dutch? I think it was Dutch.
Yeah, he spoke Dutch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely a lot of scenes cut for that
Well,
particular.
36 minutes. That's a lot of movie cut.
Yeah.
A third of the movie was cut.
Well, I guess it was made to look very short, and the way they shortened it made me think where the heck was the relationship between the two people. The
Yeah, it was
mother
definitely
and
there.
friend.
It was definitely there. So yeah, I guess they cut out the relationship too, which is an important part of the story. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a love story as well as a story of hope and imagination and everything else. So yeah, they take out a third of what the movie's about. The
yeah,
love part.
they definitely could have edited it a little bit better, at
They
least with that cut.
shouldn't have fucked with it at all. They should have left the way it was. If they
Yeah.
really wanted to, I guess they could have just cut out the drunk Santa and left it at that. Like, okay, you have an argument for the drunk Santa, but why would you cut out the rest? Like, it
Well,
make zero sense.
some of it can be explained away, I guess. The other languages, well, they didn't want to offend the different nationalities.
How are they offending
Uh,
them? He's speaking their
yeah,
language.
yeah. What's
I'm just speaking like a woke person, okay?
Well, they ain't have. Yeah.
I well in this case I don't even see anything those idiots should be offended by.
Exactly.
I don't, but the respected public is a little bit different. So, especially
Respected.
in this day and age,
I don't respect woke people.
offended by
Neither do I. Fuck them with a chainsaw.
I like the way you think.
Thanks.
Yeah,
but
I don't think anyone who listens to us are woke because we have quite given out our opinion on how we feel about that stuff. So I think we would have already offended them a long time ago. So
Yeah, good point.
yeah.
so why don't we talk about the music involved in here? Did y'all?
Well, I would like to say what I thought about the production.
Okay,
Oh.
I really enjoy the production, and I've definitely gone on record saying that I don't care for black and white. And it's true. I much rather have color. This is one of the few exceptions where I'll watch it in the original black and white, or the colorized 1955 version. I love both versions. In this one, actually, I think I like a little bit better. Maybe when I was younger, I liked the colorized version a little bit better because it was bright.
I'm proud of you that you like this one better.
You know, there are a few exceptions with the black and white thing. Arsenic and Old Lace is another one, but that's a different story. Yeah, but as far as the production, everything looks great. He looks just like Santa Claus. Again, like you guys said, they didn't really need any special effects at all for that. The mall looked like the mall. They were actually at a mall, and they were actually probably in a courthouse, and everything looked the way it should have looked. So yeah, it was definitely a great story, and they didn't need any special effects, so um, nothing looked weird or off because it was in 1947 because it wasn't needed. Kind of like It's a Wonderful Life. They told a great story without any special effects at all, which amazing people, kids today, you can tell a good story without special effects. Not that I do love special effects myself, but again, proven you can tell a good story without special effects.
Very true.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's my opinion on that. Now go ahead with your music.
Well, the music was done by a person by the name of Cyril J. Mockridge, which evidently he did and was the composer behind Guys and Dolls, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and also Miracle on 34th Street, among many others. Those are the ones he's kind of known for. He's known for a lot of the music behind Peyton Place and 3 episodes of Lost in Space. So he's got some chops there. He was the composer behind Bus Stop, which was Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn, yep. And River of No Return, which was also another Marilyn Monroe. How to Marry a Millionaire. Oh, so he was behind a lot of the Marilyn Monroe stuff. But yeah, I thought the music went with it. What did y'all think?
Yeah, although I didn't really pay that much attention to it since this is the first time I watched it, and it was, as far as I remember, mostly just background music without any specific songs or anything like that, which usually gets a bit more of my attention. But yeah, as far as I could see and hear, it did go well with the movie. Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Tammy?
Yeah, I thought it went well with the movie. It was for the time, and it was nice in the background.
Okay. What about you, Kroll?
Well, same as what Tammy said, Boris. Yeah, just kind of didn't really pay attention to it. It just kind of blended in with the movie, and just was part of the atmosphere. So
Okay.
nothing special, but nothing. But it didn't distract you from the movie either. So
Well, and the film did have a soundtrack, I guess. So, Jingle Bells, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, National Emblem,
Oh,
uh, Saber and Spurs, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, The First Noel, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, the To Market to Buy a Fat Pig, Sinterklaas, uh, Caponte, which I guess was a Dutch song,
but yeah.
Good King Wenceslas, Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush, and Hark the Herald's Angels Sing.
Oh, there was a lot of songs in there that I just didn't even realize it.
yeah, you did remind me now. I was surprised when I realized when they started to sing Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I was surprised to realize that song existed back then already.
Oh yeah, it's a fairly old song, from what I understand. That particular version, in fact, was uh, from 1934. In fact, the music was by J. Fred Coots, and it was played when Kringle is asked to replace the parade Santa, which we didn't get in the cut copy. And it was also played during the parade and also played at the Christmas party. So, and the Jingle Bells was played at the announcement of the parade, played occasionally in the score, and sung a cappella a bit by Percy Helton and later by Jack Albertson. Let's see. The national emblem was played at the beginning and other times during the parade. Saber and Spurs was played when Doris is in her apartment and at other times during the parade. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was played when the boy is sitting on Kringle's lap. Um, the first Noel is played when the Dutch girl is with Kringle, which we didn't get in the cut copy. God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen was played when Shellhammer is telling Kringle the pretext to leave. To Market to Buy a Fat Pig was sung a cappella by Edmund Gwen. Um, Sinterklaas Caponte, which was the Dutch song, it was sung a cappella by Edmund Gwen and Marlene Lidden. Good King Wenceslas. Let's see, it doesn't say when those were played, but yeah. So, other than that, let's go to favorite scenes and or favorite character. Let's start with you, Kroll.
Kroll, you are muted.
I know, I was washing a dish. Had to
Uh,
start with me. My favorite scene, well, I have two. My favorite scenes are the when they bring all the mail in to the courthouse, proving that he is in fact Santa Claus, and burying the judge in the mail and everything. That whole scene was was great. It's definitely my favorite part. And the next was when Susan, disappointed, sitting in the back in the car, and I'm driving, and she's like, "Stop!" and she runs into the house. And then they come in and they see the cane, and that's proving to everyone that really was Santa Claus. So, yeah, definitely, definitely those are my favorite scenes in the movie, and of course, Santa Claus is my favorite character.
Okay. Boris, favorite scene and or scenes or favorite character?
Favorite character probably Sawyer. Just kidding, I hated that asshole. Chris Kringle is my favorite character, of course. And favorite scene, well, it would probably be either the whale scene, as Kroll has said, or maybe the scene when he was doing this first test with Sawyer and when he was making fun of him and putting him down. Uh, that part also made me laugh a lot.
Okay. Heading over to you, Tammy. Favorite scene or scenes or favorite character?
Well, my favorite character, of course, is Chris Kringle. He's just so genuine, so nice, so uplifting. And but my favorite scene is I love the scene with the little boy in the courtroom. You know,
Oh yeah,
when they
that was
call him up to
great
the
too.
stand and he's like, "Hi, Daddy," and everything he answers, and he's so truthful and innocent and joyful, and his father's just sitting there going, "Oh." You can tell his father is really not enjoying his time on the stand.
uh, yeah, and you can see him being so pissed off, yet at the same time he knows he cannot objectively even blame the child for anything.
I would have to say that I have several favorites. I enjoy the moment when Susan first meets him and pulls on his beard. Um, and I also enjoy the fact that she's her mother is actually told to rehire him or and she's got to scramble around to rehire him because she really feels strongly that he's insane at least at that moment, which I could see that happening even to this day. People are disillusioned to the fact of believing in magic, in the magic of Christmas. Who are we to say what people believe in and crucify them for? Just for trying to make some children believe in the power of magic. So
Yeah, actually, I think I heard that they used that argument in one of the remakes.
The 94.
Uh, yeah, I think so.
but I also do enjoy the little kid being on the stand and proving his daddy wrong. uh, at least in the idea that Santa Claus is in fact real. Uh, and I do get a kick out of the fact that the judge's dude in the back is like shaking his head no, you know, uh, and he's trying to tell him if you actually say this, you will not get any polls whatsoever. And I do enjoy the ending. It is it is unique. I mean, the fact that you don't really need to even have him appear. All you have to do is just leave something behind. You know, just to have that simple question: "What if?" You know, what
Yeah.
if there is a Santa Claus? You know, and I guess my last question is. Does everyone believe that there is in fact a Kris Kringle, a Saint Nick, a Santa Claus?
Sassy got a present from Santa this year.
Aw.
That's what the present said when we were over at your mom and dad's house. It said to Sassy from Santa.
Oh, that's cute. What did she get?
She got a toy that has catnip in it.
Oh.
So,
Santa put some stuff in the stocking for me as well.
tough question. Do y'all believe in Santa Claus?
Did you hear what I said?
Well, unfortunately, in this universe, I do not think he exists, but I do believe in parallel universes, so maybe in some of them he is real.
Told by the Krampus. Anyways,
I believe he's as real as dragons and magic and everything else.
okay. What about you, Tammy? Do you believe that there is a Santa Claus?
Well, I believe there's vampires, so I guess so.
Whoa, interesting.
I
Right
believe
on.
I believe that there is a truth in every story, and there are so many stories involving Santa Claus or Kris Kringle all over the world. He's got to be at least a real person somewhere down the road, if not a continued person. So I do believe there is a truth in the fact there was someone like him. You know,
All I know is every Christmas, every year
Possibly.
that I've existed, I've ended up getting something that said it was from Santa that I did not ask for and was not expecting.
Whoa. Wow, that's nice.
I mean, granted, I did find out years ago that my mom was in fact Santa Claus one year. So, but that does disillusion me that there is the possibility that someone like him exists.
Haven't
And
you ever gotten presents, David, that you did not expect and did not ask for, and they said that they were from Santa?
Yep.
maybe
Ooh.
when I was growing up, and there have definitely been presents this year that I've gotten that I didn't expect. So, like I didn't expect my sister to buy me this turtle that was made out of a stone that is like 2 billion years old.
Wow.
Whoa. How much did that cost?
I'm
Okay, if
sure.
it's a present, you might not know, but wow.
I don't know. All I know is it is as black as coal. So I wonder if that was her Christmas present, giving me a piece of coal just in the form of a turtle.
I don't even remember seeing that, so you'll have to show me.
My sister, I don't know if she did it, but she told me she was going to buy some coal candy that looks like coal. It's candy that looks like coal, and put it on top of the stocking so that's all they saw, and the kids opened it up because to
I
show they were naughty.
I remember getting some coal gum some years back. But I also got some deodorant and soap that
See,
are kind of cool.
see, I was always nice. I never got no coal.
Let's see.
I didn't remember seeing the turtle. Where's that?
Where's what?
The turtle.
Well, I've got one up at the top here too that I was still looking for.
Where's the turtle?
Turtle should have been over with my stuff.
I never remember seeing the turtle.
Turtle. You're not turtle enough for the turtle club. Turtle.
Squirtle, squirtle.
No, turtle.
My bag.
This was a Pokemon reference.
I know.
Oh, yeah. I put him over here.
Squirtle,
Oh.
Squirtle.
There he is.
Oh, let's see.
All right, I'm gonna show these just for kicks. Oh, so my sister knows I like turtles, and this is supposedly made out of rock that is like 2 billion years old.
Whoa. Very
It says
nice.
it is a shungite. It is an ancient stone dated to be around 2 billion years old. It exudes positivity and bestows blessings. It is one of the only natural materials known to contain fullerenes, which are powerful antioxidants. The stone has been said to absorb and eliminate anything that is a health hazard to human life. It has
Ooh.
active, strong healing properties. Shungite will cleanse water and infuse it with a healing vibration. Shungite will also help you feel grounded and not so sensitive to electronics or EMF.
Neat.
And then I've got Duke Cannon's Mall Santa's cough syrup, which is also a big ass brick of soap. And then I've got also Duke Cannon's dry ice deodorant.
That'll definitely come in handy.
So that is kind of, you know what dry ice is, right?
I heard of it, but I don't really know the
It's
details
usually when
about
you
it.
see on a movie set, you see like fog or whatever, like in a movie set that's made by dry ice.
Oh,
So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you are bringing out the new year in a presentable fashion, and who knows? Maybe you'll have a miracle on your 34th Street. In any case, like, share, and subscribe. And whose turn is it next week? Who's after our good friend Boris here?
Well, technically, we got a special for the next 3 movies. We're doing a trilogy.
I know, but we are going to be doing the Lord of the Rings trilogy this month.
Yeah.
So
So
I would say
I
since
believe it was my turn.
since we are doing the original Lord of the Rings trilogy,
Actually, not the original, the extended.
we're doing the extended.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have the extended now?
HBO Max does.
Okay. Then we will do the extended of Lord of the Rings. I know we watched the trilogy not too long ago, but I don't mind watching them again.
You might need to put it up for Boris. I don't know, but
I'll have to see if I can find an extended download or something like that. But
Don't
in
you
any
have the
case,
extended, David?
yes, I do have the extended, but it is hard for me. I remember it being hard to, shall I say, get past the copyright when I've tried to burn it for other people.
Oh,
So, but that
didn't
being said,
you put it up on the cloud for me?
yeah, but that was that was when I did the complete discs. I didn't try to just get the main movie. But in any case, who is next after Boris? Was it
Like I
me?
said, I believe it's me.
It's
Or
Kroll.
okay, it's Kroll. Then you get the choice of doing, because since we have 4 spots this month, I was thinking we could do one animated of the Lord of the Rings and then the trilogy. What do you think?
Yeah, we can do that. But why don't we do the movie? I think we should do the movie, and then do the animated last.
Okay, then let's do the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring next week.
Okay.
And then
It's funny because Mo actually said the same thing about the animated. There's actually 2 animated movies. There wasn't 3. They only made 2 because they kind of mixed Two Towers and Return of the King and Return of the King, which is the second one. We have Lord of the Rings, and then we have Return of the King animated.
and then we have the Hobbit.
Well, that's a separate story.
Well, yeah, but
I
in
think at some point we should cover the Hobbit movies, but for now, let's just stick with Lord of the Rings.
yeah, we don't want to Hobbit all of you out.
I think since the animated are short, maybe we could do both animated movies as one.
We could do that.
Since they do tell the story in animated form.
And I know I've got the Hobbit and I've got the Hobbit separate, but I don't have the Lord of the Rings.
Well, I'm saying Lord of the Rings and Return of the King, those 2 animated, not the Hobbit. Just because, like I said, we're just doing Return of the King right now. Yeah, we're just doing Lord of the Rings right now.
Yep. So we will cover Fellowship of the Ring next week, and hopefully you'll be able to come back for us to do so. And I do like the fact that we are covering them because, in a sense, they do go through some wintry moments as they are going through the mountains of Carabas. Correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they almost get snowed off the mountain. Actually, when
Yep.
Saruman tries to snow them off the mountain, but that was actually in oh yeah, that is in Fellowship. Okay, never mind.
So let us all say have a great start to your New Year's and have a happy New Year, and everyone say good night.
Good night. Happy New
Good
Year.